What's going on, everyone? So I want to thank Hostinger for sponsoring today's video, and I'm going to show you how you can create your very own website using WordPress, just like this one right here. Super quick, super simple, and super easy. Let's go ahead and get started. So here I am on Hostinger's website. So I'll include a link in the description below. You can go ahead and click on that link. It'll lead you to the website. And before I do continue, I'm sure you've been following the news, seeing what's going on in Ukraine, and you guys want to go ahead and make a little donation to support them, you can definitely do that right here. Now let's take a look at Hostinger and the plans that they have. So click right now. Depending on the time you're watching this video, the prices can vary, just note that, but this is the current price for the XSL web hosting sale right now. And also, if you want to see additional plans and pricing, click on this pricing tab here. But just a general overview to quickly showcase what's included. Basically, you get a free SSL, migrations, PHP speed boosts. Big thing is tech support 24/7, especially if you are new to making websites. Something happens, plugins, whatever you're trying to do doesn't work. Definitely having support right there 24/7 is one of the best features, I'd say, for pretty much any product you're using. Additional management access here, backups, Lightspeed WordPress module. I'll actually show you a little article in a second on this, and then also you can see additional features here, and 99.9% uptime guarantee. And this one is one-click WordPress installation, which will show you how simple this gets set up. But let's go ahead, and I'm just going to go and click on get started here, and then we can go here and select. So now once you check and click on one of the plans, you will see a screen showcasing different lengths of time to choose how long you want to have your website hosting. So the first one obviously is 1 month, and that's, I'd say, only if you are just testing out something you want to do. You're not really serious and you kind of just want to see what happens after a month, whether you're making whatever type of website, blog, and you're not really confident yet or you're not sure. Definitely that's something you can try out. 12 months is typically, I'd say, the starting point for most people after 1 year. That's usually while most people have their website up. 24 months is if you kind of already know what you're doing and you pretty much want to not worry about renewing it every year. Also, you do save a little bit more too. And then for the 48 months, again, this is essentially going to give you the best bets for essentially 48 months straight, because if you were to go for 1 year, then obviously the renewal rate the next year would be a little bit higher. So again, it just depends. This sake, since this one is the highest percentage, we can click here and just go in 48 months. But again, choose whichever option is based off your goals. So if you're still starting out, you're not sure, 12 months is definitely an option there. If you're more confident, 24 months. Typically, people who have like blogs and websites that know they're going to do this for more than a year, they would do that. And typically, if you're going to have a website for a very long time, 40 is there. So I just had that option here. Payments, credit card, PayPal, Google, CoinGate, Alipay, whichever fits your payment plan. And then here we can see the current costs. Now here is a little discount code if you guys are watching. So definitely, if you want to, go ahead and type in BRIANDESIGN and then hit the plus sign right here. You get an additional discount on your total. So whichever plan you chose, and the time you're watching this will vary, but this is what showcase right here. And then basically you just enter your name, information, payment, and then hit submit secure payments. And then pretty much once that finishes loading up, I will see you on the dashboard. So here I am on the Hostinger dashboard. So yours might look a little different depending on the plan you chose. But if you chose the similar plan or the one with a free domain, then we can go ahead and click on this claim domain option. So now here we pretty much just type in a website name that you'd like. So for here, I'm just gonna go ahead and try to type in something. So let's just do create website tuts, and I'm guessing, let's see, check availability, and if it is available, it will tell us. And perfect. If it's not available, obviously you'd have to change it up. But definitely, if this is your first time making websites, or you're building this for a brand or business, definitely spend some time creating your name, especially because it's kind of hard to change it once you do make your website. And then once you have your name, go ahead and click on claim domain right here. Also, you can use external domain providers as well, so don't worry if you already bought one beforehand. And basically right here is going to showcase your information for pretty much your domain. So mine's obviously not going to be shown visible, but This is where you type in your full name, contact information, address, all that stuff. And then we'll go ahead and finish registration. All right, so now it's going to go under review, essentially the contact information, and then in the meantime, we can click continue and see from here. All right, so right now, domain is pending verification. So basically all I need to do is check my email for that, and then you can see here the status currently is active. So what I'm gonna do actually is check the email, and also before I do that, I want to showcase this thing called Who is Privacy. So this basically blocks your information that you added to your domain. So again, I highly recommend everybody get this, because if you don't have it, people will know your information. Now if you don't care, you're just like an open business field, but for most people, people typically get this. So I click on this option, and then basically once you do, then it'll obviously either if it'll showcase whether or not it's required in the plan, or you might have to pay extra, but for now it looks like it just worked right away. And now I'm going to go ahead and actually check my email, and then we can go back and continue with the setup. All right, so I just went and verified my email. So if you guys did not see it, definitely double check and make sure you have the correct email. And then once you do it, it should say verify right here. All right, so now what we can do is actually go back to the home screen, and I'll just click on here. And now what we need to do is set up our hosting, because without hosting, then we can't get online with the website. So the first thing is, depending on the plan, mine's premium, so I'll just go here and click on setup. And now it's gonna pretty much guide us through the process. So here I'm gonna click on start now. And here, for example, it's gonna ask you what you're using the website for. So for me, this is myself. If you're making it for a client, company, or someone else, definitely you can choose those. And for this, basically I'm just gonna click on other, but you can go ahead and click on this stuff here. And then I can click on whatever experience. This stuff really is just for them to know your background. It's not really that important. But here is your choices. So for this video's sake, we're going to essentially start with WordPress. Now they have WooCommerce, which is essentially e-commerce and other stuff. But if that's not what you're looking for, then definitely I'd say you can decide from there. But let's go ahead and just click on WordPress right now. And then here, basically, it's going to ask me to create an account, and I'm going to go ahead and create a password right here. Now, if you don't want to do any of this stuff, definitely you can skip this process too. So actually, let me show you the way from start, just in case you guys don't even want to follow through with just WordPress. So I'll make it easier, that way I can, in case everyone's on the same page, that way if they want to start from complete scratch, they'll know how to do it. So let me just click on skip from start. All right, so first off, it's going to showcase your domain that you actually added earlier if you already did that. If you didn't have one, then obviously you'd have to either use an existing domain that you purchased from another company, or even hosting it themselves. Basically, just select that there, add your domain. But since we already have ours, we'll just go ahead and hit select right here. And I was going to show you your server location, essentially where you're located. So if you're mainly in a country, aka North America, that's where I'm stated, then you can obviously add it there. But if you're in a different country, different area, definitely change that according to your needs, and then I'll show your domain. So let's go ahead and finish setup right here. All right, and now once everything is done, you'll have two options. We have the control panel, and then we have view website. So first off, let me just open this. Actually, let me just click on view website right here. Just open a new tab. And basically this is going to show us the preview of the website so far. And as you can see, there's nothing going on right now. And then if we go to the control panel, let's click on this. This will showcase essentially our back end. And then once we go and see this, actually, I'll show you guys this stuff. Usually, if you don't know how to use this, it's not a big deal. But this is just stuff that is, I'd say, more advanced once you start making your website much more complex. But you can see we have WordPress right here, additional files, and more advanced stuff that most, if you're just getting started, aren't really necessary to even touch. But as you can see here, this is what we currently got right now. So first off, let's go ahead and set up WordPress. So we can go down here and we can just click on WordPress right here. And then here we have the option to install WordPress and detect WordPress. So I'm actually going to be installing it since I'm just creating this website from scratch. So I'm gonna click install right here. And then here's gonna essentially ask you for your website credentials. So this basically is what you'll log in case you get logged out of WordPress. So just note that has a separate login typically depending on your setup, but usually you can access it through Hostinger's backend as well. So here I'm just gonna call this create a website. You can add your email, username, and then I'll make a password right here. And then here's add my password. And if you want to click advanced, you can obviously add additional stuff as well. But for simplicity's sake, we're just going to do like this, and I'll click on next. And then here's going to ask you for the versions and the language and basically the schedule. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on install with these current default settings. And now we can see everything is ready to go. So now all we need to do is go over here and click on this add website. Also, they have this Lightspeed, which basically it's Lightspeed's advanced cache engine. And then also there's an additional article I want to show you guys before we get started. Basically optimizing WordPress to 100% on the page speed. And if you guys don't know, essentially the faster your website is, the longer or easier it is typically for people to consume or use your website, and the slower it takes to load, that plays a major factor if they're going to click off your website. So if you have an e-commerce store, that's a big deal. Blogs, that's a big deal. So that's just note they have this option here. And I can actually include a link too. I'll put that in the description. You guys can check more information about this. But basically, it just describes what Lightspeed Cache is and a video tutorial, everything that you need to know about it. So I'll link that in the description below. And basically, if you coded before, made websites, then you know that this is the goal. Anything like even here, that's not good. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. And now let's go back over to our dashboard. And then once we are back on that dashboard, we can click here on edit website. And then this should bring us over to the dashboard on WordPress. And then we can go ahead and get started from there. And now we have this AO SEO setup wizard. So again, this is something if you want to check this out and set it up, if you fill out all your information, you can. But let's actually just click here and go back to the dashboard. And now we are officially on the WordPress dashboard. So if you guys used WordPress before, this should be very familiar for you. But if you're brand new, don't worry. I will show you everything that you need to know to get started and start creating websites. So we can actually go over here to this top, hover over and basically click on visit sites. And this will bring us to the current website, which is using a default template. And it changes usually throughout the year. And this is the current one for 2022. So definitely, this is what we got so far. So now let's actually go back here and hover over this top, your name of your website, and click on dashboard. And now we can go ahead and get started by setting everything up. All right, so here on the main dashboard, I'm gonna scroll back up. And essentially everything that we are going to do would be on this screen. And essentially we have all of our different options. So the first thing is I always like to clean up and get rid of the default stuff. So first off, we have this post option. Let's just click on the post thing right here. And essentially this is just basically if you decide to make blogs, this is where you go and add stuff. Also, you can add and delete things. So here I'm actually going to show you guys how to do that. So first off, we can click here and just click on the trash option. And then we have to actually go to the trash. It's similar to like emails when you delete them, it goes like the archive section. And you're going to click it again and then delete permanently. So I like it because if you accidentally delete a blog post, for example, that is a lot of hard work, and if you don't have it saved on another file or program, then it's gone forever. So at least it has a double deletion right there. And again, if you're going to create this website with a lot of posts and stuff like that, this definitely we can add it here. But for now, we're going to keep that clean. Media is pretty self-explanatory. This is basically where you can add all of your images and additional media stuff here. Pages, they actually come with the pre-default sample page and privacy policy. So pages, think of this as essentially your menus for your website. So your home page, your about page, services, work, everything you want, like on typical websites menu, essentially the navigation bar, this is where you go ahead and add that stuff. So for here, we're just going to click on this check mark, and this actually selects all of them. And we actually delete these by just clicking on move to trash and then hitting apply. So we don't have to go click on it individually. So if you have like 100 options, you can do it just like that. Go to trash right here, click on this little square and delete permanently again and apply just like that. And then if we want to continue, we have comments. So again, if this is your blog post, this is typically where you'll see the comments. Autumn Monster, it's already a pre-default plugin. Basically, optimize your website, and there's a bunch of stuff you can go through and set it up, but for now we don't really need it right now. And then we have WordPress forms, which again, if you have a service business, you are looking for clients or even looking for people to comment on your website, send you information, they have this free option. Now there obviously are better options that cost money as well, so keep that in mind, but this is a super simple, easy way to get that information where you typically see like your name, email address, and your message. This is basically what WordPress forms does. And I think they do have premium things as well. Appearance, this is basically the main hub where we're going to go. So as you can see, previous default themes, and this time we have this new one, and that's what we saw earlier when we started, but we're actually going to go ahead and look for a new theme. So let's go ahead and click here and click on add new theme. And now we can go here and look right there on the top right, we have it already there. So maybe in the future this will be different. I've even worked with Motion WP as well, and I believe there's some other ones down here, but we're gonna stick with Astra because one, I like Astra and the themes that they have. Two, it's quite popular in the community, which is a huge deal. Many people don't realize why everyone uses similar stuff. Is because if you have an issue with your theme, you want to add a specific design or something, the more popular it is, the easier it is to find resources. Hence, your life is so much easier. So let's go here and click on install right there. And then once that finishes, we can activate it. So give it a few seconds. And then here we go. And now I can click on activates. And then I'm going to go and activate the Astra theme. All right, so now looks like we are ready to go. And what we need to do is actually click here and get started. So I'll click on this option right here, get started. And then this will bring up essentially a new window, and then we can go ahead and set up the starter website. So here actually showcasing us a video on how to work with the videos, or essentially the themes. Now, since you're watching this video, then obviously you can follow along with what I'm doing, but if you've never seen it, feel free to check this out as well. So let's click on build our website. So we have three options right now. I'm going to use Elementor. It's one of the most popular and most widely used editors out there. Free version comes with a lot of stuff you can already use. Premium obviously has a lot more. If you are a fan of Beaver Builder or Block Editor, definitely decide from there. But I'm going to go with Elementor because that's the one I use the most. And also it is one of the easiest that I've used. And now we can go here and then basically this is asking us what type of website are you building. And then right now, if you wanted to, let's go here and let me see if I can click on like agency, for example. And we can see right now it's not showing us anything. And actually my computer was lagging, so I did have to refresh the page, but now we can see the templates right now. Okay, so first off, here is showing us standard. These are a lot of templates I've used before, and I'd say for the most design websites, or I say typical ones, people have like a hero section, information, and these are really easy to get started with. But for this sake, let's just take a look at them. Okay, also they have premium versions too, so basically it's premium means it's not free. It will cost you whatever the price of their current premium plan is. I've even worked with these websites before as well, and again, this is something, if you have your specific template that you want to go ahead and use, definitely go here and just spend some time going through these templates. And if you only have the free version, obviously you can only see so many, but once you figure out which ones you want to use, definitely you can click on that, and then I'll show you pretty much how to decorate it, change it up. And it's pretty much the same. Most templates, doesn't matter what it looks like, it's basically, as long as you know how Elementor works, then you can pretty much click on any of these templates and do whatever you want to. So I'm actually going to go and look through these templates, and then I'll show you which one I decided to pick, and then from there we can go ahead and get started. And then also an easier way, instead of you having to go through here like one by one, taking forever, right? This could take quite a long time. You can actually just go back to the top. So let me just go here, right here. And if you wanted to, you can change it from all or premium, and then also you can go from popular to latest. So again, this one, let's go on latest and see, because these are essentially the newest and the ones that typically aren't oversaturated, I guess you could say. And then we just go here and decide from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and look through these, and then I'll tell you once I decide, and then we can go and start editing it. All right, so I was looking through the free templates, and this design, I actually really like this online programming course website templates. And again, feel free to choose whichever one you want to, but I'm gonna go with this because you don't even need to make any website about a course or anything, but you can use the templates to make your own thing. So this is gonna be a portfolio website, this is gonna be a cooking website. I just like this design, so just click on it right here. And right now this is showing us essentially what it looks like minus this little panel right here. And if you have a logo, definitely you can add that to your website, but we're just gonna skip this for now and let's go ahead and continue. Now this is pretty cool, and actually I've noticed that Elementor and also WordPress have updated across the few years. And before, usually if you click on websites, sometimes you might not have this, but look at how cool this is. We can actually go in here, change the default colors right away. So if you don't like something, you can just go ahead and change it. Now obviously these are images, so these are changing color, but like for example like this, I like this green color right here. And then you can see down here, and then also if you go even this darker green one, I actually like the dark green one too. This one actually looks much better. I'll just stick with this for now. And then here is cool too is fonts. So not every theme, I believe, I have to double check, but at least this current template has these ability where you can actually just straight up change the design of the fonts that you already have right there right away, which is much easier to give you a head start. And actually particularly like this one right here. This one looks pretty cool because it's like the rounded edges. And now we can go ahead and continue here. All right, so this right now is showing us required plugins, and basically this is because it's a course design website. Now, if you're not making a course, you're not making any product requires any of this stuff, then technically you might not need it. But if you wanted to, you can actually go ahead and click on these and download them. But since they are premium, then obviously that might affect the design. But let's just go ahead and skip this first. And then we can go in here and then I'll just submit my website here. And now you can see our website is ready to go, and we have these videos showcasing what to do. But now let's go ahead and view the website, and I'll show you how to actually edit this. So as you can see, all of our colors and fonts we added in the beginning, and right off the bat we already have this nice template. Now if you were to make this yourself with programming, it would take you hours. If you were to do this with technically if you were to do this block by block, it would be kind of annoying. But this is a cool thing. Now we actually have Elementor, and let's just click edit with Elementor, and then you'll see the magic happen. And I'll show you exactly how to pretty much go. And let's just click on got it right here. And now we are in Elementor. Now check this out. We have our navigator over here, and this is basically just showing us essentially what's inside of everything. So you can see like icon lists. You can click out in heading. Just like this, it's already right here in front of us. But let me show you something that's cool. Okay, so first off, click on this right here. If you were to click on this, these like 9 squares, this gives us essentially all of the power to add anything you want. So if you want to go, for example, add a heading above, just drag it in when it turns blue. Type in anything you want right here. Also, it's easier too right here. And basically, I'll show you guys how to edit this stuff. So here, what's cool is a link. So you want this to become a link some reason, you can do that here. So also, if you click on like a button, it has the same option. But basically, I'll just show you this different size you can change. The HTML tag, which if you don't know programming, just leave this by default. But that's something if you know programming, you'd understand. But basically the styling. So styling is where you change colors, everything. So if you want to change the text color to red, click on the little square, drag it over. And then it's basically like Paint, Photoshop, or any of these color editors where you use it. And you just change it to whatever you want to. Typography, which is the type, the font. You can click here, family default. You can change this to any of these right here. The sizing, all that fun stuff. The weight, transformation, essentially the thickness of it, the style, whether it's slanted or not. And it looks like I made the size too small. You can't see anything. So it's italic right now. Line height, this is if it has multiple lines. Spacing, letter spacing like this. Word spacing. And again, this is something you can play around with, but I'm showing you in case like a real rough draft. And text stroke, if you needed to have essentially like a little border. Text shadow, this is essentially if you have like a background where it's hard to see, then it's like you want to add this and then change its color. I'll make it like really dark so you can see exactly what I mean. Basically, this is like the blur, the horizontal, and the vertical. So I didn't make the color dark enough. Like this, and as you can see how like how the shadow right here. And then advanced, this stuff is much more advanced stuff that we don't need to for this sake. But if you wanted to add like motion effects, you could actually do that too, like a fade in. So that's animations, transform, background, border, mask, responsive, attributes, all that fun stuff. So that is basically the text. And now if you want to delete it, obviously you can just go here and you could right click this and just straight up delete it like that. And boom, we're back to go. And then also if you want to click on this little arrow, you can see essentially what the website looks like on your computer. And this is currently what it looks like on this side screen. And if you were to actually go back to this arrow, and you can go down here to responsive mode and change this tablet just like this. You got the mobile just like that. And then let's go back to desktop. So that's like a pretty much a super quick run through on basic styling, changing colors, designs, adding stuff. And it rinse and repeat. If you want to add an image, you can drag an image literally anywhere you want to. And then go like there, you add the image, upload it, choose the image, and then you upload it from there. You can change the size, make it smaller, medium, etc. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete this really quick. And then, video, buttons, and there's additional stuff that I typically don't really use much, but this is something you guys can play around with. But this is the fun part about picking a template. So again, like I said, if you want to pick something, let me minimize it real quick. You want to pick something that's similar to your website already, then you're good to go. Now, what if you're looking at this, you're like, you don't like any of this stuff? Don't worry, this is the best part. So like, for example, I'll just bring this actually I can just exit off. I don't need this right now. Let's say you do not have any use for this design, right? These are pretty much programming language if you don't know coding. And guess what you can do? You can actually go here and make sure you select the proper one, by the blue outline. So like here, it's selecting this one. So here now you can see it's selecting this little rectangle right here. So if you don't like this, you can actually go ahead and click X and delete it just like that. Boom, gone. You don't like this image, you can delete it too. You can actually choose another image and replace it with yourself or somebody else. And then also you can change the backgrounds of this stuff too. You click on here. And then also you can see like styling stuff. If you want to change stuff here, background overlay. And this again, this is showing margin padding and bottom, which if you don't know what that is, let me exaggerate it so you can see exactly. This essentially, it's showing the spacing from the top, and then obviously the bottom would be the bottom spacing here. So that's another way too. If you don't like the spacing on your website, that's something you can do there. And then also again, these are additional sections where you can pretty much do all the editing like I showed earlier, adding text, spacers, all that stuff. In case you don't know what spacers, basically you can add like a little miniature space between. It's usually for like design aspects. Let me just delete this real quick. And then pretty much you can even just click on anything and just change this. You want to change this? Let's get started with, let's put blockchain because that's trending recently. So let's put blockchain here. That's it. Let's go here. Complete. Let's go blockchain masterclass. And let's just erase all this stuff. Let's go. Boom. There we go, like that. And now we have just some text like this. So that's the general stuff that you guys can go ahead and write off the bat. I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. And if you don't like this coloring, again, you can go in here, change it, go to style, and select that stuff too. And again, that's all stuff that is pretty easy to figure out once you just start editing one thing. Now I want to show you some cool stuff. Because what if you're like, okay, I've edited, I've changed the pictures, I've changed the text. Also, if you wanted to, like you can rearrange this stuff, you can drag it over here. And that's nothing. You can switch the sides. So if you don't like the layout, switch the sides like this, add all your text, and delete anything you don't need, and then always add it back through stuff over here. And then what if you're like, okay, I've edited as much as I could, but I need to add some new stuff? Well, check this out. They have this option right here. Also, if you don't see this, typically if you were to go to any of the recent or whatever sections you're looking at, you can hit this plus sign here, and it essentially creates one above it as well. So if you, for example, let's say you want to add a new section like right above this three little section components right here. Well, this one is currently essentially together still. So you want to find essentially the giant section right here. And right now, obviously, you would have to create it below because it's still within this whole entire section. But you could actually create something else down here and then drag it back up. So for now, let's just click over here and click on the plus sign. Now here's the structure. If you want it to be like a main, just one section where there's no like three, see how there's three essentially outlines like that? That's essentially over here. You want to do two, that's more like these right here. And then one, this one's kind of two still, and then this was still two. One, I don't really see most people using this unless you're gonna add on top of it. But typically people use 2 and plus. So just click on it 2 plus. Now you can go here and click on this plus sign right here. And then you can go ahead and create everything from scratch. So you can just go here, drag this in, and then be like, let's see, learn these new tips. Or let's just say tricks. And then you can obviously change the fonts. And then also you can go back, add here. You could add a button down below. You want to change this, click here. You can say sign up. The link, obviously you'd have to post the link of whatever you want the button to go. So if you want to go to a certain page, you can obviously add that with the, like about page. But for now, we're going to keep it at hashtag because I don't have a page right now I want to link this to. Size, all that fun stuff. Styling, you can change it up here too as well. And if you want to change the hover effect, which essentially is like the text, you can see that there. And basically the background type, you want to change that too. There's a red color here. And then border radius is basically, like if you were to actually click here, and let me just go in here. Border radius, if you want to go back, let's see, let's do like 0, makes it like a square. And then obviously it's defaulted as curved like this because of this template. But that's another thing you can change if you want to make the buttons nice and pointy. And let's go back here. And then again, if you want to add like a paragraph below, you can go like this. And this is like filler text. And then go back again. You can click here. And you can add, an image. I'll just leave it as default image right now because I don't have anything to add. But basically, you get the point. This is how you create a new section from scratch. And now, let me show you another magic little trick you can do with Elementor. Let me exit out this, delete this one. And one other cool thing I want to show you guys, instead of just creating something from scratch, is we actually click on this plus sign. Click on this little option right here. And then we can go to blocks, and now we can see some pre-made awesome templates that you can add to your website that you don't have to sit here and make them from scratch. So these are pre-made already. And let's go ahead and just like click on, let's see, for example, this is almost exactly what I was making earlier, except this one's much better looking. And then you can just go ahead and hit import block right here and check this out. Boom, there we go. We have it just like that into the website. So I'll click a little plus sign out. And as you can see, it's already pre-made and it's all responsive too. So you're going to click on this responsive mode. This is the best part. It's already responsive for you. All you need to do is go in here and just change it and edit it up like that. And then you're set to go. So now let me actually go ahead and click on the X because I don't need this right here. And then with that information, you can pretty much edit and change even colors like this too for the background. You can change pretty much almost everything on this home page right here. And then you can go ahead and have fun with that. So again, obviously you have different designs than me. So I'm not going to spend too much time going through every single little detail if I were to make everything change because you're probably going to make something completely different. But as long as you know what I told you in the beginning, then you should be able to make and edit your text and everything to whichever you like. And that's something you can play around with for a couple of hours and you'll pretty much be able to do whatever you want to. So again, go down here below, hit on update to make sure you save any changes you have made. And then now I will show you some additional things that you can do. So let's actually go over here. Let's click on this little plus sign here. And let's go back to the dashboard. Let's exit the dashboard. And then I'll show you some little tweaks we can add to our website. And then from there, you can go on your way. So here I'm actually going into the actual WordPress. But let's just click back to our little WordPress icon. Let me actually cancel that. Go back to the WordPress editor right here. Let's just click on this WordPress icon. Yeah, we can leave this because I'm not actually going to be editing anything. And now we're back onto the dashboard. And if you just double check, make sure everything was good, we can click on visit sites. And as you can see, we still have our exact site here. And then edit with Elementor still up here to edit everything. So let's go back to create a website and dashboard. And now let us continue making some more changes. So first thing is let's go to posts. So right now you can see there's 0 posts right here. And then if we go to pages, we have new pages. So check this out. This is actually, we edited this beginning of the video, but since we added a new template, it changed everything. So if I were to actually go to the website really quick, this is essentially our menu. Like I said earlier, the pages, the posts. So if I were to go back, so if you want to add another one, for example, all you need to do is go up and see where's the link right here, up here, add new. And then I'll just make it like a crazy name so you can actually see. So I just say like new menu. And for the most part, I mean, there's not much you really need unless you want to add some more stuff here. And again, obviously, you can add some additional stuff like SEO and things of that nature. But for simplicity's sake, let me just hit publish really quick. And let me just hit publish right now. And it's going to show, obviously, like SEO stuff because I just put the name. But what I want to do now is we can go here to preview. And actually, let's see, preview the new tab really quick. And right now, it's showing us the page. But this is the thing. We have to go back to the dashboard. So I'll click on the logo icon. And as you can see, we have the new menu here. But if I were to go back to the visit site, you'll notice it's not showing in the menu. That's a big deal. So what you need to do, go back. Go here to appearance and look at this menu right here. And guess what we have to do? All we need to do is literally, we first off have to figure out what page we want this to be. So first off, let's go here and let me figure out which one I want to add this on. So for now, let's actually go here to the top because these are pre-made menus. And I want to go to the primary menu. And let me see, let's see. We'll go here, and as you can see, if I hit select, it shows us all the main homepage. So now if I want to click on this new menu we just created, click on add to menu, it creates it right here. And now all I need to do is make sure I have it on the primary menu, and then I'll hit save menu here. And now if we go to visit sites, look at this, we got the new menu right there. Check that out. And this will lead us to a new page. And now if you want to edit this page, let's go actually back to our dashboard. And then we can go to the pages, all pages, go down to new menu and click on edit right here. And then we can click on edit with Elementor. And let's see, auto save this post is more recent version. So let's just say, let's go leave right now because I already had the menu added, but now we can actually go and add this stuff. So if I want to go here, let's just add something new. Let's click on this blocks option, save us some time. And basically, we can just add, let's just add something. Let's just add like a team, for example. And then I can just import this block really quick. And then I can just extract this one. So now if you want to save this and update this right here, I'll go update there. And then let me go back to our dashboard really quick. Go back again. Let me make sure I leave this really quick. And then go to our visit our sites and check this out. Now you click on new menu. Look at this, we have our whole new edited stuff right here, and then obviously these are like the default footing bottom sections that are coming with this template. But that's another way you can make a new page, new menu item, and then just edit just like that. So that's again something if you want, when you want to go in here and edit these pages, you have to click into them. These are already pre-made obviously, but that is essentially how you go about and do that. And then go back to the dashboard just like this. And then obviously we have additional stuff like comments and all this fun stuff down here. And then here, this is the plugin stuff. So let me go to add new really quick. And basically if you want to add additional plugins that come with WordPress website, this is where you want to go edit it. Literally you can type it in whatever you want to. You type in cars, click on it, and then it'll show you plugins that deal with car stuff. And then you just hit install, activate it, and then you're good to go. In terms of appearance, you can also see all that stuff with the themes if you want to change all that stuff here. And then these are additional things like settings that you, if you wanted to add to like your blog posts and stuff, that's definitely something you can go. And also Lightspeed case, you have more information down here. And also the link I had in the description, that's where you can also add that stuff too. Now we can go back to our dashboard really quick. And now you can actually go ahead and edit the footer really quick because that's one thing I haven't showed you yet. And that's probably one of the last things you probably need to go. So go back to the visit your site, edit with Elementor, and look at this. Let's go to footer and let's click on post really quick. And now let's see how it's currently looking. So this is currently essentially the footer that we have currently that was showing on everything. Now if you don't like this design, this is essentially for this theme. Then you can always change it up just like we showed earlier in Elementor if you want to add new stuff here. Again, you can do that as well. So we can just add stuff here and let me just put like a, actually let me just make something basic just so you guys can see. So I'll click here, import the block, and I'll just delete this really quick. And let's just update this. And now if this is going to show on everything, we can go back to, let's go back to the dashboard. And we go back to visit sites. And now if we scroll down, we can see we have this right here. Also, we go to the new menu. You can see it's still right here as well. So look at that. So now this is essentially the sales page. So if you need something like a different design, obviously you can delete this and change the stuff too. So we can actually go back and just delete this again because it is not necessary. So now I will just go and delete this and update it. Just like that. And let's go back and edit to dashboard, or exit the dashboard. And then if you want to go into Elementor and click on here, and this is showing you some more advanced settings, you want to go ahead and change some stuff up here. And I'm going to go back to pages really quick. And you can see about all, home page, and new menu. And then if you want to delete something like the new menu, like I said earlier, go here, go to trash. And then I go back to trash again. And then basically just delete permanently. And now if we visit the sites, it is looking brand new just as how we had it earlier. Now, one thing you might have noticed is that the actual footer, which is down here, there wasn't any option when we went back to Elementor and, for example, let's just click on theme builder really quick. And right now you can see these are all professional. If I click on footer, obviously I can't unlock it because it's pro. And then if I were to go, let's go back to visit sites and Elementor again, site settings. And then even if we go all the way down here, which I go right now, and for example, I'll go back like this. Let me see. Actually, no, I'll click off, exit off here. Click like this, go like this. Notice that it doesn't let me edit only these, but then obviously these were essentially part of the footer. And we went to edit it earlier, it only shows this. And typically, if we were to go, example, and you can scroll down here, you can try to look for one if you want to, or if you want to just search for it, you can see there's no option for the footer here. Or if we were to click here, and currently right now mine's not loading, but typically if for some reason yours is showing it, for example, or if you even go here and go to blocks and just type it in footer, you can see it's not showing anything either. And typically that's because they made it to where it's pretty much a premium to my knowledge. Now if that has changed, definitely let me know, but if you can just see here, I'm scrolling through everything that I can see, and to my knowledge it doesn't seem like there was, even before when I did this, they kind of have some like basic ones it looks like, but there's none that I've seen that look like the one that I showed you on the current template. So let me go back and make sure. Yeah, so it looks like it's still not exactly the same. So technically if you want to, by default you just add one like this, but it's still not exactly like the one down here. And then also, again, depending on your template, your website, if you wanted to make something from scratch, you can also go down here and like manually drag, go over here, it's heading, and then it looks like I put this inside of this, so let me actually drag it out. Let me see, hold up. I'm gonna drag it into, actually I could just add, let me just exit off this. Doesn't look like it's letting me drag right now, so here, let me just right click and delete this, make my life easier. And let's just click plus, and let's go again. All right, there we go. So now it's outside. And you can manually add it like this, and then make this like, let's see what we have here. Like this text right here, but then you can also add additional, let's do actually like this. This makes much more sense. And then this is where you can add like your actual custom text, and it could be like, about. And then if you want to add more text underneath this, and then obviously you'd have to make it smaller, but contact us. And then you basically would try to replicate this down here, make the font smaller. So like for example, typography, like that. And then you just basically add links here to whatever pages, whatever the link is, like your custom page there. And then basically when people click on it, just like that, then that's essentially another alternative way to make your own footer like that instead of having to have the pre-default ones. And that's basically the setup right now, but let's just hit update really quick because I like this current design right now. And also remember, this one did have premium plugins required, that's why it doesn't show exactly, but there are other templates that are much more basic that you can pretty much use all the information I showed you earlier about the, let me go back to leave again, that I showed you earlier in terms of Elementor. So this pretty much editing it, it's all the same regarding templates, just certain templates have different pros and cons of them. And then if you go to visit site, you can see currently the finished design, aka basically the template just minus, you know, some different colors. And then, for example, if you ever get lost, you can always go back to Hostinger and pretty much log back in. And then you can go back and edit your website. So again, here, if you do get lost, you forget, go back to your Hostinger websites, go over here to Hostings, and then pretty much you can go and click on the website. So for example, this is the one we had here, so I'll click on Manage, and then basically you can go to the dashboard, and then click on Edit Websites, and then you should be back on the WordPress dashboard, and then you're back to go edit your website again. And also we have SSL, so if you want to add that to your website, this is where you can go, and then basically you can hit here set up, and then you're pretty much good to go. So again, that's if it's necessary for you, and it's pretty easy to set up as well. And aside from that, if you did enjoy this video, definitely make sure you guys like and subscribe, and then definitely click the link down below if you guys want to sign up for Hostinger and make your website, and I'll see you in the next one.